Hi, welcome back to our channel, and today's discussion will be focusing on recurrent miscarriage, specifically the most common type of recurrent miscarriage that affects patients who suffer from this form of miscarriage. So in today's video we discuss recurrent secondary early miscarriage. Now if you are suffering from recurrent miscarriage with no effective remedy to allow you to attain healthy pregnancy, this video is exactly for you. So you need to stay tuned, and then you may also benefit some information and also learn as to why you are not experiencing healthy pregnancy, and also the treatments that we offer for this group of patients. Recurrent secondary early miscarriage, as we've explained before, the common cause is due to the presence of an immunity factor, which is the anti-embryonic antibodies. So this form of recurrent miscarriage is the most common form of recurrent miscarriage. Of all types of recurrent miscarriage, up to 70% of them fall into this category, and it is caused by the maternal immune system interfering, affecting development of the pregnancy, and it leads to repeated early miscarriages happening somewhere around 7 to 8 weeks, and it can get sooner than that as well, happening 3 to 4 weeks. Now, the immunity factor is the presence of anti-embryonic antibodies, and it is an acquired factor. So you are not born with these antibodies, but you go through certain processes to acquire them. And the primary factors behind the presence of these antibodies within your system is firstly induced abortion, the most prominent cause for development of immunity factor. Secondly, which is any type of surgery that involves scraping or surgical procedures of the uterine cavity, of the uterus. If you have a history of that, you also may fall into this category. And lastly, which is having sexual intercourse during your periods. Now, what these processes have in common is the introduction of foreign materials into the mother's system. So when it comes to surgeries of the uterus, whether in induced abortions or even in birth, you may have a risk of introducing foreign tissue, which is fetal tissues, tissues of the baby, the pregnancy. Whereas intercourse during menses period, you introduce sperm cells, which is of your partners, into the mother's system. All of these are foreign materials to the mother's immune system. In their perspective, they have never recognized paternal genes, the genes of the partner, the genes of your husband, because they are never present in your system. It is a non-self component, and that's why they, in self-defense, in protecting your system, they develop these antibodies to actually protect you. And then they also want to remove these foreigners, these antigens, these foreign materials that are not supposed to be here. So the most common cause, which I've emphasized a lot, which is induced abortions. During the scraping process, you have a risk of introducing fetal tissues, because fetal tissues during the process of that, they are very fragile and they can easily shatter. And during the scraping process, there are also secondary damage, exposing uterine veins that carry blood directly into the heart of the mother. So it's very easy for these tissues to quickly be introduced into the bloodstream of the mother, and then very easily they get these immunity factors. That's how they know, and they are unknowingly developing this. So that's why Antai Hospital, for the solution of this common recurrent miscarriage category, we have invented both the diagnosis and treatment for recurrent immunological miscarriage. So this form of miscarriage is known as recurrent immunological miscarriage of the secondary nature. And our patented discoveries, before our patented discoveries, there was no solution to this problem. Although there are several remedies, none of them have consistent success rates, and none of them can guarantee success rates. None of them seem to be producing effective results. So since Antai Hospital has produced these patents, since we secured these patents for over 20 years, we've helped over 34,000 couples. More so now today, that number has changed, significantly risen, and with a success rate of up to 95%, because we've accurately identified the cause, and we've also administered very effective relevant treatment as well. And that's why, because of this treatment alone, we are famously known for specializing in the recurrent miscarriage treatment, and that's why we introduced money back guarantee. It all roots back to this treatment because of how effective it is and how these couples are actually already very defeated because they've experienced many monetary loss and pregnancy loss. They've already very demoralized. They are not willing to try, but that's why when we give them these types of guarantees, they are more assured and they are willing to try, and when they see the results for themselves, they are very grateful. And that's how we introduce this money back system, this full refund system. It all originated from this patented treatment of ours. So again, we need to go back to diagnosis. Diagnosis is very important. Even if we have diagnosed that you have these anti-embryonic antibodies, it is very important that we make sure that there are no more factors affecting your miscarriage, because this type of miscarriage is very common that you have more than one factor. Very likely you may have some form of uterine factor, for example adenomyosis, endometriosis, uterine malformations, Asherman's syndrome. All of these can affect your pregnancy as well. So if you just treat the immunity factor with our patented treatments, and if you don't receive treatment for the other factors that are present, your pregnancy will still end in another miscarriage. And this is what a lot of hospitals are missing out on. They are not doing comprehensive diagnosis and giving you comprehensive treatment. So you may also develop factors of the ovaries as well. You may have corpus luteum insufficiency. You may have premature ovarian insufficiency. You may have PCOS. All of these can affect ovarian function and also contribute to your recurrent miscarriage. So we need to first diagnose you whether you are a single factor miscarriage, a double factor miscarriage, or a complex factor miscarriage, which means you have more than 3 factors. These are all very possible, but however treatable, we still need to accurately identify how many factors you have. Then we can offer you full refund as well, and a success rate of up to 95%. That's how we do it, and that's how we establish our reputation within this field. So in this video, I hope you've learned that the most common form of recurrent miscarriage that you may be suffering from if you haven't received proper treatment is recurrent secondary early miscarriage caused by the immunity factor, which is the presence of anti-embryonic antibodies. And we can offer you money back guarantee with our effective patented treatments. These patented treatments are recognized in over 30 plus countries, including the United States, Europe, and China, and we have been consistently helping couples overcome their problems with these patented diagnostics and treatments. So if you'd like to find out more information on our patents, please visit the description box. There are links there where you can read the patents, and if you'd like to receive diagnosis as well, check whether you have these antibodies, and if you'd like to receive our patented treatment, you can visit the website, talk to our consultants, and make some arrangements happen. So I hope you've learned something in this video. Please stay tuned to the next one and leave me some feedback down below as well.